You're 15 years old. Your father's hands are ruined from the nets. Your mother has been dead since you were 4. The village has 200 people and exactly one future. Fish until your back gives out. Then watch your children do the same. In March, a pirate brigantine docks for repairs. The crew spends 3 days drinking and spending money like it doesn't exist. You watch them. You see something in their faces that the fishermen don't have. You can't name it yet, but it's there. On the 3rd night, you climb into the cargo hold and hide behind barrels of salted pork. The ship leaves at dawn. You're 16. You own a knife and the clothes on your back. They find you on day 2. The crew wants to throw you overboard. The captain, a man named Briggs, mid-40s, skin like dried leather, 2 fingers gone from his left hand, looks at you for a long moment. He asks one question. Can you work? You say yes. That word changes everything. You wake before the sun, you scrub decks, you coil rope, you eat whatever's left when everyone else is done. You do all of it without complaint. Complaining on a pirate ship is like bleeding near sharks. The water doesn't care. The crew doesn't either. The first raid is 3 weeks in. A merchant sloop. The black flag goes up. They surrender immediately. No blood, no violence, just inventory. But you learn something standing on that merchant deck. Those sailors aren't rich. They're working men getting paid half what they were promised to haul cargo for wealthy men in London who'll never touch salt water. The captain makes maybe 30 pounds a year. The rum he's carrying is worth thousands. You're stealing from the company, not the crew. At least that's what you tell yourself. You'll keep telling yourself that for years. The code surprises you. Pirates are a democracy. The crew votes on everything. Every man gets a share. Lost a limb? 600 pieces of 8. It reads like an insurance policy written by men who fully expect to get hurt, because they do. A storm cracks the mast. They send you up, 60 feet of wet wood swaying over black water. Your hands go numb. You tie the knot anyway. When you come down, Briggs nods at you. The crew starts seeing you after that. Briggs teaches you without calling it teaching. Charts, stars, how to read watercolor for depth, birds for land. A captain who yells, he says once, has already lost control. He gets sick in his 3rd year, blood in the spit, weight dropping off him. He dies on a Tuesday in his cabin, buried at sea. Quarter holds a vote, 3 candidates. Year 1, you're 22. You win by 30 votes. Captaining is different. You don't do the most work, you make the most decisions, but the loneliness is the part nobody warned you about. Every man aboard is your responsibility, which means none of them are your equal. You make decisions that get people killed, and then you eat dinner afterward, because the ship doesn't stop for morning. You start understanding why Briggs went quiet, not because he had nothing to say, because there was nobody to say it to. Silk teaches you the hardest lesson. He hits you heading back to Nassau with Spanish silver, attacks from downwind. By the time you see him, you're already in range. The battle costs 8 men and half the silver. You limp into Nassau broke, but you study everything he did. The patience, the positioning, the timing. You stop chasing targets, you start positioning for them. Piracy isn't about firepower, it's about information. You just don't plan on being the prey again. The Navy puts 500 pounds on your head. The governor is working with the crown. Pardons for pirates who surrender, ropes for those who don't. Mara hands you a chart through a smuggler, routes the Navy hasn't mapped. You leave Nassau before dawn. Neither of you says goodbye. Goodbyes assume you'll have the space to think about it later. Out here, later isn't guaranteed. You don't take the pardon. Not bravery, not stubbornness. The pardon means going back to being the kid from the fishing village, a nobody with nothing. You'd rather be hunted than invisible. That's not wisdom, it's pride, and pride kills most pirates in the end. The last raid is the mistake everyone makes eventually. A fat merchant ship off the Carolinas, heavy in the water. Too easy. You know it, Quarter knows it, but the crew is hungry, and you give the order. The merchant is bait. 2 Navy frigates appear from behind a headland, 30 cannons each. Your hull cracks below the waterline. You're the last one off. You watch the ship sink bow first into gray water. 23 survive out of 60. You disappear. Walk inland. Tell people you're a retired merchant sailor. Marry a widow who doesn't ask questions. Have a daughter. Fix boats. Eat dinner at a table that doesn't move. The ocean is 2 miles away. You can smell it when the wind is right. Some nights you stand outside and just listen. You think about Briggs, about Dutch, about the kid who hid in a cargo hold with a fish knife and no plan. You never missed the violence. You missed the horizon, open in every direction, no ceiling, no net to haul, no future already decided for you before you were old enough to choose. Your daughter asks you for a story about the sea.
You tell her about fish. You were never a legend. You were a broke kid from a fishing village who chose the ocean over the net. Weapons break or they're discarded. You broke, and somewhere in a Carolina boatyard, smelling of salt air, watching your daughter chase chickens through the yard. Maybe that's the closest thing to freedom you'll ever know.